Hi, it's Mark Donegan, host of the Marketing Execution Podcast. 78% of social sellers outsell peers who skip social media. Yet only 15% of marketers measure social ROI. That gap is where companies bleed money. Most B2B teams treat social as broadcasting, not strategy. After 2 decades building go-to-market engines, I've seen this mistake kill pipeline. Here's my conversation with Tim.
It's marketing time. Bright ideas sparking, blowing your mind. From strategies to big exec dreams. Catch the buzz and join the execution. Marketing Convo.
Welcome to the Marketing Execution Podcast. This is the show for tech founders and leaders building B2B products and technologies. We show you how to go further, faster to get the business results you need.
From strategies to big exec dreams. Catch the buzz and join the execution. Marketing Convo.
Mark, I've been sitting with something all week that I can't shake. You know how we always talk about social media strategy like it's this separate thing, like it lives in its own little box?
Oh, I know exactly where you're going with this.
Right? Because I was digging into some research on social media myths, and it hit me that most founders are thinking about this completely wrong. They're treating social like a channel when it's actually, well, it's infrastructure at this point.
Yes, and here's what kills me, Tim. The biggest myth I see founders fall for isn't even about tactics. It's this idea that social media is somehow separate from their core business strategy. Like, they can just bolt it on later.
So what's the fix? Where do they even start?
Okay, so there are really 3 things that matter here. And I'm going to be direct about this because I see founders waste so much money getting this wrong. First one is this. You gotta start with the end in mind. I know that sounds like a bumper sticker, but hear me out.
I mean, it does sound a little self-helpy.
Ha, fair. But here's what I mean practically. Most founders I talk to, they're measuring likes and followers and shares. And look, those metrics feel good. They're easy to track, but they're almost never connected to what actually matters for the business.
So you're saying vanity metrics are still a problem, even now?
Worse than ever. I once heard of a company that spent 6 months building their Twitter following to like 50,000 people. Impressive number, right? But when they actually looked at it, almost none of those followers were in their target market. They'd been optimizing for the wrong thing the entire time.
Ouch. So what should they have been measuring instead?
It depends entirely on your business objectives. That's the whole point. If you're a SaaS company trying to drive demos, measure demo requests that come from social. If you're building brand awareness in a new market, track share of voice against competitors. The metric has to connect to what you're actually trying to accomplish.
Okay, that makes sense. What's the second thing?
This one's going to sound counterintuitive. Stop broadcasting and start listening. Like, really listening.
Wait, but isn't the whole point to get your message out there?
See, that's the trap. Everyone thinks social media is a megaphone, when it's more like a focus group that runs 24/7. And here's the thing that blows my mind. Research shows brands share something like 23 promotional messages for every single message they actually respond to.
23 to 1? That's insane.
Exactly. And meanwhile, your customers are out there telling you exactly what they want, what they hate about your competitors, what problems they're trying to solve. It's all just sitting there for free. We actually talked about this on the Marketing Execution Podcast a while back, but it bears repeating because founders keep missing it.
So you're saying the listening is actually more valuable than the posting?
In many cases, absolutely. I mean, think about what companies used to pay for market research, focus groups, surveys, customer interviews. Now you can see real, unfiltered conversations happening in real time, but only if you're actually paying attention.
All right, I'm sold on listening. What's number 3?
This one's going to ruffle some feathers. You cannot build your entire business on rented land.
Meaning the platforms themselves?
Exactly. Look, I've seen founders put everything into building their Instagram presence or their TikTok following, and then algorithm change, account suspended, platform pivots to something else entirely. Remember Google Plus?
Oh man, I actually forgot that existed.
Right? And there were businesses that had invested real resources into building communities there, gone overnight. The platforms are advertising companies. That's their business model. They're not working for you. They're taking a cut of your attention and your audience's data.
So what's the play then? Avoid social entirely?
No. Use it, optimize it, but always be driving people back to something you own. Your website, your email list. Because here's the thing, your email list can't get deleted by some algorithm update. Your website can't get suspended because someone reported you by mistake.
That's actually really practical advice.
And yet, I see early-stage founders making this mistake constantly. They'll have this beautiful Instagram grid with thousands of followers, but no way to contact those people directly. One platform change and they're starting from zero.
You know what strikes me about all 3 of these points? They're not really about social media at all. They're about
Business fundamentals. Yes, that's the whole thing. Social media isn't some magical separate discipline. It's just another channel that has to connect to your actual strategy. The founders who win are the ones who get that.
Mark, that's fascinating. But let's talk about what this means for a founder with zero budget who's trying to compete against companies spending millions on paid social.
You know what, Tim? That question cuts right to the heart of everything we just talked about. Because here's the thing that most people miss. The founders with zero budget actually have an advantage over the big spenders.
Okay, I'm gonna need you to explain that one, because on the surface, that sounds a little crazy.
I get it, but think about what we just covered. The companies burning millions on paid social, they're often doing exactly what we said not to do. They're broadcasting, they're chasing vanity metrics, they're building on rented land without any real strategy connecting back to business outcomes.
So you're saying the money can actually become a crutch?
Exactly. I know of a company that was spending something like $50,000 a month on paid social. Impressive budget, right? But when they actually audited their results, almost none of it was driving qualified leads. They'd gotten lazy, just throwing money at impressions instead of thinking strategically about who they were reaching and why.
And meanwhile, the scrappy founder with no budget is forced to be smarter about it.
Yes, they have to listen. They have to understand their audience deeply because they can't afford to waste a single post on the wrong people. And that constraint, it's actually a gift.
So the listening piece we talked about becomes even more critical.
It becomes everything. Look, when you don't have money to burn, you have to earn attention. And the only way to earn attention is to actually understand what your audience cares about, what keeps them up at night, what problems they're trying to solve. You can't buy your way past that understanding.
I see what you mean. But let me push back a little. Understanding your audience is great, but at some point, you still need reach, right? You need eyeballs.
Sure, but here's where it gets interesting. The research shows that brands are sending out like 23 promotional messages for every single response they give. 23 to 1. So while everyone else is shouting into the void, the founder who actually responds to people, who engages in real conversations, they stand out immediately.
Because nobody else is doing it.
Right. It's like being the one person at a party who actually asks questions and listens to the answers. Everyone remembers that person.
Meanwhile, everyone else is just talking about themselves.
And here's the deeper point. This is the real aha moment. Social media isn't a separate thing from your business. It's not some bolt-on marketing channel. It's infrastructure. It's how you understand your market in real time. It's a focus group running 24/7 that costs you nothing to access.
So when we talk about why this matters, it's not really about social media tactics at all.
No, it's about business fundamentals. The founders who win are the ones who get that connection. They're not asking, how do I get more followers? They're asking, what does my customer actually need? And how do I show up for them consistently?
And that's something you can do whether you have zero budget or 10 million.
The money just changes the scale. It doesn't change the fundamentals. Start with the end in mind. Know what business outcome you're driving toward. Listen more than you broadcast. And for the love of everything, make sure you're building something you own. Your email list, your website, assets that can't disappear when some algorithm changes overnight.
You mentioned Google Plus earlier. I actually forgot that existed.
Exactly my point. There were businesses that invested real resources into building communities there, gone overnight, and they had no way to contact those people directly because they never moved them off the platform.
So the strategy piece really does tie everything together. You can't separate the tactics from the bigger picture.
Never. And honestly, that's liberating because it means you don't need to chase every new platform or trend. You just need to understand your customer, show up authentically, and keep driving people back to something you control.
All right, this is making a lot of sense. But I'm curious now about how founders actually put this into practice day to day. Like, what does this look like when you're sitting down Monday morning trying to figure out what to post?
Okay, so first thing, before you even open Twitter or LinkedIn, grab a piece of paper, write down one sentence, just one. What pain does my product solve?
That's it? One sentence?
That's it. If you can't do it, your messaging is too complicated. I worked with a founder last year who had this brilliant AI tool. Took him 3 paragraphs to explain what it did. 3 paragraphs! Nobody's reading that on social.
So what happened?
We got it down to 7 words. Sales teams waste time on bad leads. That was the pain. Everything he posted after that connected back to those 7 words.
And it worked?
His engagement went up about 40% in 6 weeks. Not because he was posting more, he was posting less, actually. But every post hit the same nerve.
So clarity beats volume.
Every single time. Now, step 2. This is where most founders mess up. They post and then they disappear.
Right, the broadcasting trap we talked about.
Exactly. So here's what I tell people. Set a timer. 15 minutes after you post, go back. Respond to every comment, every single one. Even if someone just says, nice post, you say, thanks. What part stood out to you?
You're turning a comment into a conversation.
Yes, and here's the thing. The algorithm notices. Platforms reward posts that generate back and forth dialogue. So you're not just being polite, you're actually gaming the system in a good way.
Okay, I love that. What's step 3?
This one's going to sound weird. Go find 5 posts from people in your space, not competitors, potential customers, and leave thoughtful comments on their stuff.
Wait, you want me to boost other people's content?
Think about it like a networking event. You don't walk in and immediately start pitching your product. You mingle, you ask questions, you show genuine interest.
Mm-hmm.
Miro did this brilliantly early on. Their team would hang out in design communities, not selling, just being helpful, answering questions about collaboration workflows. And guess what tool kept coming up naturally?
Their whiteboard.
Their whiteboard. They built trust before they ever asked for a sale. That's the game.
So we've got clarity on the pain point, engaging after posting, and showing up in other conversations. What about the content itself? Like, what should people actually post?
Great question. I use what I call the 70-20-10 rule. 70% of your posts should be genuinely useful. tips, lessons, mistakes you made, stuff people can actually use.
No pitch at all?
No pitch. 20% can be about your journey, behind the scenes stuff, the human side of building something, and only 10% should be direct promotion.
That feels backwards from what most companies do.
It is backwards from what most companies do. Remember that stat? 23 promotional messages for every response? That's the opposite ratio, and it's why most business accounts feel like robots.
Okay, this is making sense. But here's my question. How do you know if any of this is working? Like, what should founders actually track?
Forget followers. Seriously, forget them.
Really?
Here's what matters. How many conversations did your post start? How many people clicked through to your website? How many of those people gave you their email? That's the chain. Conversation to click to capture.
Because the email list is something you own.
Exactly. Notion did this really well in their early days. Every piece of content pushed people toward their templates library. Free value, but you needed an email to access it. They built a massive list before they had massive revenue.
And that list couldn't disappear if the algorithm changed.
Now you're getting it. The platforms are rented land. Your email list, your website, those are your property.
So the whole strategy is basically use social to start relationships, then move those relationships somewhere you control.
That's it. That's the whole thing. Social is the front porch. Your website is the living room. Your email list is the kitchen table where real business happens.
I love that analogy. Okay, so real quick, can you walk me through what a Monday morning actually looks like with all this?
Sure, you wake up, coffee, check your notifications first. Respond to anything from the weekend. Takes maybe 10 minutes. Then you look at your content calendar. You should have one post ready to go. Something useful connects back to that core pain point.
The 7 words.
The 7 words. You post it. Set a timer for 15 minutes. Go do other work. Timer goes off. You come back, engage with comments. Then spend another 10 minutes in other people's conversations. Total time invested? Maybe 40 minutes.
That's it?
That's it. Consistency beats intensity. 40 minutes every day will crush 3 hours once a week.
Because you're staying in the conversation.
And the algorithm rewards daily activity. Plus, your audience starts expecting you. You become familiar. Familiar becomes trusted. Trusted becomes customer.
All right, Mark, we've covered a ton of ground today. The myths, the strategy, the practical stuff. Can you pull it all together for us? Like, if someone's been listening to this whole conversation, what's the summary they should walk away with?
All right, let me bring this all together. We started by busting the biggest myth out there. Social media is not a separate thing you bolt onto your business. It's infrastructure. It's how you understand your market in real time. Then we talked about 3 fundamentals. Start with the end in mind. Know what business outcome you're actually driving toward, not just vanity metrics. Second, listen more than you broadcast. Your customers are telling you exactly what they need if you pay attention. And third, stop building on rented land. Use the platforms, but always drive people back to something you own.
The email list, the website.
Exactly. Then we got practical. Clarity beats volume. One sentence describing the pain you solve. Engage after you post. Show up in other people's conversations. Follow the 70-20-10 rule. And track what matters. Conversations, clicks, and captures.
Okay, Mark, after everything we've covered today, what's the one thing you really hope people don't forget?
Here it is. The founders who win on social media aren't the ones with the biggest budgets or the most followers. They're the ones who show up every single day and treat every interaction like it matters. Because it does. Every comment is a person. Every response is a relationship. Stop performing for an algorithm and start connecting with humans. That's not just good marketing. That's how you build something that lasts. The Marketing Execution Podcast is produced by Growth Stage Marketing. We are on a mission to see your company reach wild success using marketing pods.
Too big accept dreams. Catch the buzz and join the execution. Marketing Convo.
Thank you for listening and being a part of the marketing execution movement and community. To learn how growth stage marketing clients reach more buyers and drive business impact, go to growthstage.marketing. That's growthstage.marketing.